In the early days of hip-hop, the MC was only meant to introduce the DJ at block parties and clubs in the Bronx. But he quickly became a fixture, spitting rhymes to the beats being played and becoming the center of attention himself. MCs such as Melly Mel, Kumo D, Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, among others, became leaders in the music revolution that brought the voice and sound of urban black youth to mainstream America. MCs became household names. Run DMC, Ice-T, NWA, Tupac, Biggie, taking the country and the record industry by storm, yo. Controversy and media attention followed the MCs as they grew in fame, creating a fearful American public left scratching his head as to why the youth were drawn to this music form. But for exponents of rap, there was no question why this phenomenon had occurred. The content of the rhymes and technique of spitting those rhymes is the skill and artistry that the MC displays in his work. And this is what has drawn so many people to rap music. Yet behind such apparent ease of flow and wordsmithing, the MC has to master many skills, from the ability to freestyle, to writing, to working in the studio, and appearing live on stage before an audience. In today's music industry, MCs are not only masters of the art and technique of rap, they are business people dealing with the high pressures of the commercial record business. What are the components that go into making a successful MC, huh? And how do they deal with the commercial pressures put upon them? Hey, yo, man, there's a lot of things that evoke the image of the MC. A microphone, the glinted jewelry and gold cap teeth, a cap cocked to one side. But none of this speaks to who an MC is more than their name.
My name, they call us, I got the name. My name is, my real name is, they know who I am.
You know, a man gotta have a name, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? A name should always mean something because it's a statement or a word, you know. So names is important to me, you know what I'm saying?
I think names are powerful, man, because it kind of like embodies what you're doing or what you're gonna do. Like when, in African traditions, when the child is born, they have like a big ceremony to like divine the name of the child, because they understand that when you name a child, it kind of puts energy towards their destiny. So it's very important, and that's kind of how, you know, we looked at it. And that when we formed Zion 9, we were both getting real close to God, and like we thought it was important enough that we just make that kind of like the main focus, what we're gonna do with music.
50 Cent is, I got it from a gangster from Fort Greene Project. He passed away, he's not active. So it's okay for me to take on his name. You know what I mean? And through me, they remember him constantly. You know what I mean? Because the name get called so frequently, and they go, yo, remember? You know? This and that, and if that thought pops back into their head, I thought it was a cool thing to do.
They call us the mall because we deep, we mad deep. You know what I mean? When we go out, it's a bunch of us, you know what I mean? That's why we call us Mall Deep, you know what I mean? Straight up, if you don't know, the infamous Mall Deep. They call us the infamous because of how we get down, you know what I mean? We just the infamous, that's our title. A lot of people be trying to use the infamous too, man. There's a lot of people. Stop doing that, please, man, because that's us, man.
It is I, the infamous Jesus, Shock Jesus, AKA the fool in zebra print, goer of great places, breather of delicious air, doer of beautiful women.
Nas is short for my name, Nasir. So niggas wasn't saying Nasir back in the days. They was just like, yo, Nas, stuck with me.
The name Killer Mike was a nickname given to me by a dude named Double D, who actually, we used to do these battle rap sessions, like at Underground in Atlanta, downtown Atlanta, and then the Green Lights, and I battled like 7, 8 dudes and just went through them. And the dude was like, you know, Double D's like, this kid's killing y'all. He's a killer, you know what I'm saying? He's tenacious, with his back against the wall. He's like a hungry pit bull fighting out of a corner. So the killer speaks to the spirit, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's how you gotta be.
When brothers choose names, you know what I mean? They try to really choose a personality, you know what I'm saying? I probably been through dozens of names, really. You want to check my whole MC history. Like when I say RZA right now, it's like that's my title. It's like the RZA. It ain't even, it's like, yeah, hold on, that's the RZA. Go for it, you can't say, oh, that's the Bobby, or that's the Johnny, no, that's the RZA.
But a name that you earn may not sit well with record companies, know what I mean? With corporate identities to protect and all that.
I treasure my name, and I fought with 2 record companies. I fought with Elektra and with Columbia to keep my name K-I-L-L-E-R. You know, it's K-I-L-L-E-R because I wanted to make sure that it was reflective of what I did that night when I slayed over 7. Because I was more tenacious, I was more hungry than them. I want to make sure that the name I earned is the name that people heard and people saw. If you look at rappers' names, like you look at Ja Rule, Jeffrey Atkins, Rules, like that speaks to his attitude. Ice Cube, you know what I'm saying? What's harder than frozen water? Like, this is like, yo, your name means something.
You pick a name that you usually, at some point, think is cool, and then you usually end up hating it. I'll tell you what's weird is when I'm at a show and a fan comes up to me and it's like, hey Ian, can you sign this? For some reason it's like, aggravates me. I don't know why, but like I'm like, you know, you bought my record in the A section, you know? And like, it kind of like crosses the line of like fan-artist line to a degree. You know, it's like, I wouldn't walk up to Q-Tip and be like, hey John.
The fact that we spell it T-E-C-H, technique, number 9, number of completion, you know what I'm saying? The technique's complete. Not complete as in finished, but complete as in mastered. So I have the complete technique. I have everything you want to hear.
Got the name, you know, coming from an ill flick called The Mystery of Chess Boxing. You know what I mean? When I first heard that, it stuck like, yo, yeah, that's me right there, straight up and down. You know what I mean? And it was based on, you know, they fronted on the dude early in the flick, you know what I mean, or whatever. But money came back like 10 years later and just started smashing everything in sight. When I leave, man, I go home and I rest my head, man. I'm Dennis Coles, man, at the end of the day, man. The same name that go on that check, the same thing that's on the birth certificate, and when y'all bury me, that's what's gonna be on the tombstone.
I give artists one piece of advice. I tell them all as new artists, don't bite my shit and you'll be all right.
Early Jamaican dancehall music, which would eventually have a large influence on hip-hop culture, used different artists over the same popular beat. But perhaps unaware of this tradition, hip-hop considers such a practice repugnant. In the early days of hip-hop, if you so much as copy the beat or rapping style, you could expect to face some serious consequences.
Back in the days in hip-hop, it was like, you don't bite, you biter. You know what I'm saying? People were put down. That's not happening anymore. So people aren't encouraged to be unique.
I wish I was there.
You know, when I first started rhyming, to steal, you know, another person's rhyme was, you know, they'll laugh you out the park. They'll laugh you out the club. It was more about originality back in the day, man. You know, that was one of the big things about being an MC. You know, and it was good, because they, you know, one character come out, yo, this is who I am. And that's who he was. It wasn't like the next character was gonna come out and say, yo, I'm like him.
Yeah, you get punched in your face for biting. Back in the era when Tribe, De La, Jungle, MC Shan, all those people dropped. You get smacked up for that, for real.
That's the only crime we had in hip-hop. It wasn't really too many crimes. You know what I mean? Biting. That's it. It's songs about don't bite. And biting is like, you don't bite, yo.
The 80s was a time when you know, you weren't supposed, it was cooler to not sound like the next guy, you know what I mean?
Can you just shoot for some originality? You know, I think the whole Timberland, Missy Elliott type of vibe, you know, like they don't bite anybody. Like that just, you know, that just motivates me to continue to do my thing and to try to keep my thing separated from all the guys who are saying pimp player. But, you know, for the person who's not established, who doesn't even have a foot in the door, just left field it, you know, come from over there on, and, you know, make the music sound good.
Did a 360
from, you know, being original to, you know, flow like him, say what he's saying. You know what I mean? So, you know, I hope that changed, you know what I mean? Like when I speak to a lot of the, you know, people in the streets, you know, they recognize it, you know what I mean? Like everything sound the same, everybody talking the same thing, you know, just putting it on a different beat.
I have enough respect for the art form to know that I want to add something to the art, you know, to the culture. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to just take something that's been done and just try to regurgitate it, you know what I mean? But now people will kind of recycle choruses, recycle a line and kind of change it up, you know what I mean? And it's, you know what I mean? It's
not at all. I'm not a biter like that. I came with my own. I hear a lot of people bite my style though. Hip-hop, you know, is like based off biting, period. Even though they say it's biting, because we take old people's music and jacket. I think it's all in how you bite.
When Jermaine Dupri took the beat that KRS-One popularized for Welcome to Atlanta.
Welcome to Atlanta where the players play and we ride on them things like every day. Big beats hit streets, see gangsters roaming and parties don't stop till 8 in the morning.
KRS-One used it, you know, 10 years earlier, 12 years earlier in the song Why Is That?
It's like teaching a dog to be a cat. You don't teach white kids to be black. Why is that?
You know, you had kids that are now 18 going, oh yeah, you know, that guy stole Jermaine Dupri's beat. So there's no sense of history.
I give to all MCs my entire catalog. You will not get sued if you sample a KRS-One record or do an interpolation of my lyrics or anything. My entire catalog is open to the public.
We so tight-knit and shit is so complex the way we do our stuff is that nobody could actually bite because there's too many chambers to go through. There's too many heads, there's too many emotions coming at you at once. I mean, you're overload real quick. You try and bite one style, it's impossible. They could borrow a line here too, and some brothers I done heard on the radio, they would put like something that we said in the rhyme as they hook for their song, thinking that's gonna make it official. You know what I'm saying? It don't sound like that.
Really like a tool.
Word up. If it ain't got that, like we said from the beginning, if it ain't got that woo stamp on it, it ain't woo. Word up.
Tang Clan, baby, it's all real. But it's not all about biting, you know what I'm saying? Especially when an MC finds inspiration to take it to a new place or even pay homage out of respect for another artist.
If I see somebody do something real fresh, I'll be like, man, I wish I would have done that. I just say, well, I get inspired by that and be like, all right, how would I do this? This is how I would do it, like this. And what am I gonna tap into that's gonna make somebody be like, man, I wish I would have done that.
I'm not trying to get on stage and be like the next man. I'm not trying to get on TV and talk like the next man, sound like the next man on the record to get some attention. I'm young, I'm just getting in the game. I'm a new MC. The same way when these people got in the game, they had to be their self.
It all began with sampling, of course. So now if it's cool to sample someone's music, now it's cool to sample someone's voice, now it's cool to repeat their lyrics in your song. It just keeps escalating as to what's cool to do. And I think that's an issue.
You know, it is difficult, man. You know, you want to, you know, keep a cool head about it, but at the end of the day, it's biting. Yeah. At the end of the day, it's biting.
That kind of related to jazz?
Yeah, I related to jazz, in many different things. Like the way John Coltrane used his brain. There was nothing written, they just start hitting. Blowing on the horn, atom all splitting. That's the way you do it, straight off the top. Improvisational skills, it's making it hot.
Freestyling is a necessary element to being an MC. Nowadays, you would never know that because most of the top MCs can't even freestyle.
Many hip-hop heads consider freestyling an integral part of MCing. How do MCs create unrehearsed poetry?
You're rhyming and you're fully aware of what is going on around you, but your mouth is doing something that your mind is not actually consciously making happen. In other words, you are thinking one thing, like the next rhyme. When do I get the crowd to say, oh, this girl over here keeps looking at me. This guy wants me to sign his picture. The music is too low. The music is too loud. All of that is going on in the MC's head, while out his mouth, though, he could be saying, I'll keep on bringing and singing until your ears is ringing and stinging, gleaming and dreaming, true MCing with meaning.
Freestyle is just sporadical. Yo, dead looking, let off on air, again, take your bed and whatever, whatever, you know what I mean? Freestyle is just free.
When you're doing a freestyle, you don't even gotta worry. You just doing, you saying whatever the fuck you want to say, how you want to say it, and it's coming out right, because you know that's what it is. Like,
before people decide to call it freestyle or being able to go off the top of your head, we just said it was Nipsey Russell syndrome, where you're just able to rhyme about anything at any time on top of things. So because I had that ability, I was very good at going around and winning battles, because people would actually say what they had written, and I would just talk about what they had wrote.
Look, man, a chess master employs patience, manipulation, timing, strategy, and a killer instinct when facing an adversary. Like a chess master, an MC in a freestyle battle must apply these same techniques.
Freestyle is definitely like chess, and it could be compared to anything that involves strategy.
You know, there's a certain amount of preparation for a battle mentally, but you can only prep so much, you know what I'm saying, before you're writing it and planning your rhymes. You know what I'm saying? So when you're like in a freestyle battle or off the head battle, it's exactly what it is. It's off the head.
When it comes to battles, you know, bottom line, once you get into that, it's like nothing is sacred. You know, any and everything will be said about you. They feel that they can say anything about you, but then sometimes, like, if they're on the receiving end and you know, you have like 50 people around them laughing at them, you know, it'll get there. Like, heads will be like, oh, hold up, money, hold up.
Sometimes it got to that. If you got roasted really bad, they want to fight.
At the Proud Bird in Los Angeles, California, a young Slim Shady participated in a freestyle contest. And although he lost out to the hometown favorite, Eminem earned huge marks for his freestyle ability.
You want to represent on the microphone, but you rap sleazily. I ain't about to battle this fake Easy-E. There ain't no way I'm gonna do this. It's so I don't give a I'm loaded up with a full clip. Rhyme of the month, you couldn't get the tape of the day. Take him away, I ripped him like a paper mache. I heard you rap before, you ain't about shit. This whole battle was mismatched like your outfit. Try to battle me and get your mouth split. You sold out like Ticketmaster outlet.
The question. What is the question that's often asked? To be a true MC, do you have to be able to freestyle? And if you are a true freestyler, are your rhymes rehearsed, or are they truly coming off the top of your head?
And a true hip-hop head will know whether you're freestyling or whether it's written down or not.
I'm gonna tell you this for your own benefit. You're the dope as especially when you wrote 90% of it. What you need to do is practice on your freestyles, but you come up missing like Snoop Dogg's police files.
When you make up this shit on the top of your mind, it's like your mind is, you working your mind, you know what I mean? Just pop up, oh shit, I said that. That's all a part of knowing that you have it, you know what I'm saying? Now just think about it if you sat down and thought about it.
Some cats are truly freestylers, which freestyle with no net at all. And other cats are freestylers that freestyle on paper, you know, and write. You might just catch that verse that day, you know what I'm saying, and be like, it might not pertain to a song or anything, but it's just a hot 16 bars.
But the rhyme that you've written is written for any environment. So you can interchange words. You can use the freestyle ability on top of a written piece.
A great freestyler may make for a great MC, but recording records is a different game. Pay attention now.
I noticed that a lot of freestylers actually freeze up when they get in front of that big microphone in the booth, and there's 10, 12 people at the studio, and everybody, you know, it's not a freestyle battle. You don't have to beat one person or a group of people. It's you against the actual tape. Like, you gotta record this, and people staring at you like, you know, killing the stigma of freestyle MCs don't make good records, because it's not true. Because if you really think about it, anybody that writes rhymes, when you write a rhyme, it arrives in the form of a freestyle anyway. It's just a matter of how you catch it and capture it and put it down on paper.
Some people can make songs and no freestyle. That's crazy.
Some people can make good albums, can't freestyle a lick. Some people make good albums, don't even write their own rhymes. Some people can battle and kill anybody and can't even make a song that sound tight.
The reason that a battle MC usually has a hard time making the transition into record is because their mind is not wired for record sales. It's not wired to tone it down so that people can gravitate and dance. They're only trying to be as lyrical as possible, and unfortunately, the only people that really, really love lyrics on that level are authentic, thorough hip-hop junkie fans. Like, you have to really, really love hip-hop to want to buy a record just to hear what somebody's doing lyrically. Because the average fan is just a music fan.
You never know. 3 years from now, freestyle raps might be the most popular form of rap, but it's just not that right now. So maybe they can make their money in other venues, but as far as selling records, you have to make records.
One of the highest profile freestyle battles occurs on BET's 106 in Park, which features, you know, Freestyle Fridays and all that. After an intense screening process of hundreds of MCs, 2 MCs battle each other for the opportunity to compete in the following week's contest. Newcomer Jen faced the champ Hassan, who was going for his 7th win in a row, which would secure his place in the 106 in Park Hall of Fame.
Like, my first week going up there, that made me the challenger, and I was trying to take out the champion. Of course, when I stepped on the stage, it was already, the shock factor was there already. Because they was like, he's here to battle, you know what I mean? And the beauty of it, you know, that guy that I was battling, he was going for his 7th to make it into the Hall of Fame. So it was like extra hype around it already.
Time for Freestyle Friday battle!
But this is not one of those cases where it's like, I rhyme, and then you rhyme, and then I do a rebuttal. No, that's it. Like, I get my 1 verse, you get your 1 verse, and they decide right there. I went in there with that mentality that he's probably gonna say something about me being Asian, so let me beat him to the punch.
You got 6 victories? I wonder if this'll hurt. The closest you'll get to 7 is the number on his shirt. Yeah, I'm Chinese, now you understand it. I'm the reason that his little sister eyes are slanted. If you make one joke about rice or karate, NYPD be in Chinatown searching for your body.
So then the crowd, they was just like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, yo, where's this coming from? You know, being that you're of a different culture and you have that edge, they want to hear something ill from you. Because, like, as quick as they gonna show you love is how quick they're gonna be like, this kid is a joke. This Chinese kid trying to rap, you can't be serious.
All right. Hassan, get focused immediately.
I went up there and I said what I had to say, and I guess to an extent it worked. Because he did come with the Chinese jokes.
Yo, I don't really think you want it with this cat Hassan. I have you in BT hooking up fried wontons, yo.
But it lost a lot of its value. It's not even so much about the complexity of what you say. It's just that quick instant. If you could say something that has shock value or comedic value, then you got the crowd already.
Yo.
All right, that's it.
And then the judges decided who was the winner, and I won. So that was big.
There it is.
Give it up.
We have
Give it up.
I could have went out there swinging with the dopest rhymes, dopest punchlines, talking about everything, you know. And all it takes is for him to say one Chinese joke, and that'll pretty much discredit everything I said, no matter how dope it was. That's just how it is, like in a battle, like in the heat of the moment. It's about who can capture the crowd.
No doubt.
So this is the 2nd week now. People were still a little like, like iffy. You could hear the buzz around like, yo, did you hear about that Chinese kid that won the Freestyle Friday? Took out the champion that was going for the, like they probably didn't even know my name yet, but you hear. He got lucky, you know what I mean? He probably got lucky. Let's see what happens this week.
You have exactly 30 seconds to do your thing. When the beat stops, stop rhyming, it's a wrap.
This guy saw last Friday's episode, and he pretty much know who he's gonna be battling, me. Whereas I'm oblivious to who it's gonna be. Like, he did literally a whole verse about me being Chinese. Like, every punchline that he had was in reference to me being Asian.
Get ready, Saturday. Challenger first.
The problem.
Scoop, hit it.
I'm the champion. This guy comes. he came out crazy.
Yo, and yo, I'm mad free. You acting like I ain't the one. Why you got me battling Bruce Lee grandson? Yo, I'm a star. He just a rookie. Leave rap alone and keep making fortune cookies. Look, I'm that guy. Yo, his mom was a menace to society, saying hurry up and buy. In the hood is where they'll find your body, dog. I'm the kid, you just Mr. Miyagi. Look, I kick raps and spit fire. Yo, he just kick and be like, hi-ya. Dog, I know why your eyes is ish, cause you keep staring at my pinky. Yo, let's go, holla back.
By the time he finished his verse,
That was a good run.
Stand right there.
everybody was thinking, it's over. There's nothing that Jin can do. It's done. The judges, the crowd, even Free and AJ, I remember, they was like, oh man, this is, you know what I mean? Because I'm looking at everybody's face. I'm like, they're really eating this up. So it was my turn. And the first thing I said to him was,
You wanna say I'm Chinese, Sonny? Here's a reminder. Check your Timbs, they probably say made in China. Don't make me get on his tip and straight kill ya. His name is Sterling, cause all he rocks is silver. Do you stop following trends? Your girl must love alcohol, cause she be swallowing gin. Yo, I'm about to flip the script when it's coming to it. Hey yo, you see me spitting on the block, you run into it. This is 106 in Park, I'm a hard act to follow. You an amateur, you go to the Apollo. Cause I'm freestyling, knowing I'm done. Son, you ain't a baller, tell the audience the truth. I saw him breakdancing for spare change on 40 dudes.
All right.
then the crowd just went berserk.
Come back.
Once again, the judges decided that I won. And the crowd was like, yo, that's it. So from that point on, it was like, we're cheering for Jin. We're rooting for him. After the first and the second week or so, we was already getting a lot of interest, various labels contacting BET, like, how do we get in touch with Jin?
Jin went on to win his next 4 battles. Rough Rider Records signed Jin to a record deal during his 5th week. Wow. Expecting him to announce his signing after winning the 7th week, this put tremendous pressure on Jin.
The champ, Jin, he's going for his 7th win today. What's up, family?
What's going on?
All right.
I'm just ready to, let's do this.
Let's do it.
Yo, hey, hey, hey. Who you supposed to be? Bruce Lee with his pants all sagging? I'm your you dog. There'll be no return of the dragon. I don't come out here to joke around with no fool. Sean Nicholas, I never lose my cool. That's right, you look like Tony the Tiger. I'm about to take a big bite out of your little whack tail. Hey yo, I don't mess up. Sean in the list, bless up. And yo again, woke up in all on that tower from night till morning. None of them know hear me warning. New York hear me call. You ain't a reggae artist, and I ain't hating on you. Stop lying, Miss Cleo is more Jamaican than you. I'm nice with it when I'm freeing. Who you think you being? My pants are new, my sweater is new. Don't be mad at Chinese kid dressed better than you. Man, I'm freestyling now, it's a rap. Matter of fact, you should ask Clef how to make your flow tighter. Better yet, pay him 20 G's to be your ghostwriter. I'm nice when I'm freeing, you ain't beating me. Matter of fact, I'll be at buffets and you ain't eating me. Don't make me start rapping in Chinese on the microphone. Like Final Kayla, that means take your sorry butt home.
All right. Yo,
Okay.
come on over here. Come on over here, come over here,
Okay.
come over here.
That was today's Freestyle Friday battle. Judges,
You're going down.
Yes.
And in the Hall of Fame, Freestyle Friday champion, how you feeling?
Yo.
What's next?
The next move, let's do it right here. This is 106 in Park. I'm gonna make this a special day.
It's an announcement?
Oh!
whoa!
Double R.
Whoa!
The streets been waiting to see.
Congratulations!
It's like that. You know you cannot rhyme me, so go and see the exit like Nick off Pat Riley and check the Nick off style. I'm wicked and wow. And when it comes to rhymes and styles, I got 'em by the pile. So look a whack MC and the whole media. From A to C, I got a whole encyclopedia of lyrics. You know my style, you know my stilo. I'm on the TOP and all the rest of your are below. Me, 5E, MC of the year. Flavor in your ear, cause I just don't care. I'm just bugging, you know.
Ba 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 ba, dee 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 dee, da 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 da. That is the essence, and he was just hitting that. That's Busy B. That's Hollywood.
He could have came really generic with that one, because that was going in a generic direction. But the B-Lo, to me, it gave it flavor.
And the way he said it, the style he used, it made it tight.
Fife came off with that. You could tell he was coming off the head, and it was good. And the beatbox gave me some you know, gave it just that raw hip-hop feel. So.
One commonality among all MCs is his or her ability to write rhymes. The discipline to write has always been a struggle, even among literature's greatest writers. What does it take for today's MCs to write?
That's where you show your mind's ability, kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Like what you think about really and how you really perceive the world and what kind of person that you really are.
When you want to eat, even though you may not consciously know it, your body and mind is preparing you to eat. From the time you say, I want to eat, certain saliva starts coming up in your mouth. You start looking for the fork and knife, where you're going to sit down. Even as you sit down, certain muscles in your body are preparing you now to eat. The same thing with writing lyrics. It's the same way, that don't just sit and write a lyric. Like, I'm going to sit and write a lyric. Prepare your mind to deliver its lyric to you.
I just put it all in music. That was stressing me out. You know what I mean? When wasn't around me, they go to jail, their girlfriend, their baby mom start acting up. I just put it all in the record, you know what I mean? And that was one love. I told them to keep their head strong.
I'm the dude that'll get up in there and have a rhyme from either something I would have did before that I ain't get a chance to, or I might just rhyme on the spot and let the beat talk to me.
You'll hear a beat, and the beat will inspire you for an idea for a song. And sometimes you'll have an idea for a song already, and you're just seeking that beat for it.
I rent cars in different cities and just go ride and listen to the beats. And like, I love to ride and write, you know, like, not literally writing it down, but just rapping. It's fun to do.
I pick my topics first. That's something I do differently too. Like, I start with the titles. Then I get the beat, match the beat with the title. Then I write.
Certain lines is, I don't know where they come. Like when I said she got a light-skinned friend look like Michael Jackson, got a dark-skinned friend look like Michael Jackson. There's no theory behind that line. It's just funny. You know what I'm saying? Whereas other lines have theory behind them. You know, people could say, yo, I'm gonna compare how many throwbacks I got to how many guns I got to how much work I get. And then it's like in theory raps. There are already formats for that. I like to come up with lines so there's no format for them.
I've been listening to a lot of, you know, like listening to a lot of artists like Fabulous and, you know, stuff like that. And I'm listening to their flows and I'm like, oh, I got it. So a lot of their stuff, because it'll be a lot of punchline heavy, and the last line will always be something funny or catchy, and everybody's like, oh. And it's like, okay, so they come up with that first. Then they'll come up with the rhyming words to put before it. You know what I mean? So if you notice a lot of their rhymes, the lead up, like the rhyme word that they have, the pre-word, is always whatever, but the end is always like, oh.
I can write a whole song in less than an hour and a half and spit it like it's a freestyle, like it flows. It won't sound like I'm reading, but that's something that you have to perfect. There's other guys like Biggie and Jay-Z who don't write anything down. They only write a couple of words down, if anything. But what they do is take the beat and memorize the whole thing, the verses, the hook. That takes time.
Like Jay saying he never wrote a rhyme down and he just got it up here. And he's, you know, I asked him, I was like, how do you do that? He's like, oh, I lost about 2 or 3 hours that way, you know? And I was like, okay.
I don't write lyrics, so I mean, I just went in there and just, you know, did it.
So it just comes off the top of your head?
Yeah, but it's not really a freestyle because I organize it, you know, in my head. It ain't like I'm just winging it. It's organized, but it's yeah, you can say it's a freestyle. It's just not written. It's an organized freestyle.
If you don't have some kind of sense of writing things that aren't raps, you know, like writing poems or writing stories, that you're gonna have problems writing a rap because, you know, you gotta, like, you know, you gotta rhyme on top of everything. So you gotta end these phrases and you gotta keep rhyming and you gotta keep telling the story. So you gotta kind of not lose your direction from beginning to end.
I always had a thing for writing rhymes, like, you know, like poetry, like that. When I was in elementary school, I used to win contests, writing poems, you know what I mean? And so I always could put words together and make them rhyme, but this rap, once I just got all the way serious with it, it wasn't no looking back after that. Some of my most fun songs I did, like
where I felt like I had to do research and stuff. It felt like a project or a book report or somewhere. I was like when I did this record called A Song for Asada, it was about Asada Shakur, and it stemmed from me just reading her autobiography. And then I was like, man, I want to do a song like people need to know this story. And I went and read the book like 2 or 3 times. I went down to Cuba. It was like I had to filter every element that I could, you know, without being there, so that I could write the story.
I make the songs to entertain me, and then I know that others will embrace it too, you know what I mean? So it's all in fun, just tell stories, you know, try to give a little shock, you know, bring about emotion.
I think about how they react to a certain point in a song. So, you know, a lot of times I try to build it up like an adventure, like the Alicia Keys song for the whole last verse for about 2 minutes. She's just talking on her cell phone to the guy, trying to introduce herself for the first time. And it's just something that people aren't doing with records now, making them more adventurous, turning them into movies.
A rap or rhyme ain't nothing without rhythm, which means an MC has to deal with structure. That's verses and hooks, all hanging on the beats and bars, yo.
A bar is when you have 4 beats, like
1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4. So when they say 16 bars, they mean like 16 bars of those. And then usually a chorus comes in, and it's like another 16. It's like, you know, like a standard song format.
Right now, the standard right now for MCs is 16 bars, a hook, 16 bars, a hook, 16 bars, a hook. It's been put out there, as music has become such a business that formula has actually been put into lyrics. So now you have people who come into the game like, I got 16, I got hot 16s.
Go and pop in any joint right now and listen to one verse, a verse meaning before the chorus ends and before the chorus starts again.
Good song arrangement is sometimes rare. I mean, you could stay within the mathematics of 16s and 8-bar choruses, but it's about what you do within that 16 or that 8-bar chorus that makes a song interesting.
It's mathematically written, ordained by God as a classical piece to spit passionately, mimics the clapping of heat over immaculate beats to capture the beast. My verse is like Catholic priests.
But to be real good, a song needs more than hot 16s, you know what I'm saying? It's gotta have a hook.
Hook is the part of the song you want to sing over and over and over again.
Talented young artists come up, and that's one thing that they don't start with, hooks. In the rap world, the hook that's your chorus, because it's like that kind of has to sell your song. You know, I'm always dealing with, you need a hook, the hook's gotta be better in industry, the hook, you know, everything is, you know, that's the jingle.
That catches the listener's ears, that makes your record huge.
The part of the song that people are gonna wanna say back, the part that hooks you in.
Big pen, spinach. I don't even know what they said after that, but I just know big pen, spinach, G's. You know what I'm saying? I know that those are good choruses, those good hooks that get you.
Do that, which is nothing but, you know, it was kind of like a hook that people caught on because they would listen to the song and say, oh, I like that part when he goes like that. Okay, that's that part, you know.
Like Just to Get By, what I did, I was actually watching the Transformers movie, and they had this song, you got the touch, you got the power. And I remember 80s ballads, how they could rock stadiums and people be throwing their hands up like this and like just getting all excited with the music, those 80s power ballads. And I said, why don't we bring choruses that are like 80s power ballads to hip hop? And that's what Just to Get By is. This morning, I woke up feeling brand new. I jumped up. This morning, I woke up feeling brand new. I jumped up, getting my mind, my soul, my soul. That's like stadium music right there.
You can have a hook within the verse as well. You can be saying something in your verse that people will catch on to.
Big, he used to just go, He got $1 million. It's something about when he go, that was crazy.
You ain't phasing the amazing.
And then every MC has to be mindful of flow and rhythm.
A pattern is like when you show a person, all right, yeah, you see these drums right here, this is gonna be the bottom. This is gonna be the bottom. So therefore, the highs is gonna kick in a certain way to where you're gonna feel like when you rhyming, you gotta have a certain kind of flow together for it.
Humpty Hump and Slick Rick rhyme from the nasal palate.
Nas rhymes from the back of his throat. Biggie is a swinger. He swings like a horn player over jazz. B-I-G-P-O, P-P-A, no info for the D-E-A. He put more emphasis on the He's just spelling his name. But the flow, vicious. Pac, on the other hand, I think Tupac pulled from Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. I don't know when it is that we're gonna make it to the mountaintop, but one day all the children will be able to play together, all the children, It's like pouring those words out because you mean it. And that's why, you know, I never had a father figure, but I was raised by the thugs and the drug dealers. That's why I love that singing that Pac was doing and his stuff.
You just can't ignore the way that I say it for sure. The way that I play it is raw. The way that I say it and flee. I be out the booth before you invoice the fee. You got a million brothers who rhyme, and they might be, the beat is here and they might be right here. Or the beat is here and they might be under here. But if you in a pattern, you right here with it. You riding right here. You know what I'm saying? And you flipping it to where when you got it locked, it sound easy.
Can it be? The Casanova speech therapy that heavily puts the flavor right where it should be. My words have been connected to the poets of old. The way I utilize the pen and turn it to gold. And keep it overly creative, innovator of soul. Now check the flavor from the beta. Where's my DJ host? Come on.
I get down in the studio. Have you heard? Have you heard? Thank you.
One of the biggest jobs and where the written rhymes go from paper and become a song is working in the studio. And in hip-hop today, the studio can be almost anywhere.
You have people who grew up MCing and people who have regular jobs and do what they do on a 9-to-5 basis, but in their spare time write rhymes or buy studio equipment, have little studios in their house and make little tapes and, you know, circulate them and everything.
Well, basically the whole Internal Affairs album was recorded here at Grandma's hands, and I knew that I wanted kind of like a raw feel. So even if I was a record dealist at the time, but even if I was, you know, had a big budget, I think we would have chose to do it in a certain manner. You know, at the time we were working with ADATs, we weren't even like using Pro Tools, and it brought about a feeling for the song, I think, a feeling for the album as a whole.
When we're in the studio, it's like, it's such a chill atmosphere, you know? It's not tense or we gotta get this record out. Because we did this in Chad's attic, like, way before, you know, anybody knew who the Neptunes were. And it takes a lot of the stress out of it because this is what we're used to. This is what we've been doing. And it's like, you'd be a fool to get a deal and freeze up and lock up and act like you don't know what to do in the studio.
If possible, try to demo it, even a cheap, you know, cheap recorder, you know, demo of it. Sometimes hearing it a lot and you kind of learn it and you can, it allows you to be able to come off better when you do actually record it. It's like a rough draft and you can listen to it and go, oh, that's cool, but when I get in there, I'm gonna change this or something, you know?
A lot of times when you in the big 48-track joint at Sony, you get a little comfortable. Yeah, and it's a little too pretty. But I think the advantage of, you know, doing it at home is you're not constrained to, you know, you have an hour left, you know, finish your mix, you know, you're just sitting here at your leisure eating, you know, some string beans and and some lima beans, and you're just, let's finish tomorrow.
The studio is getting built in the house. I don't have to come in you sick studio no more. You feel me? Only thing I gotta do is take it out, get it mixed and mastered.
Just like every MC has their own style and flow, they also have their own way of, you know, working in the studio.
once you demo a song and you know the lyrics really well and you know the expressions of how you want to say something, it usually comes off better in the studio. It just is a lot. It just comes off better than someone who writes in the studio and goes in there and it just doesn't seem to be as smooth because, you know, they're kind of, in a way, reading and learning at the same time as you know, recording them.
Lately, it really a lot. I've been, you know, just coming up with stuff while I'm there, you know, just trying to feel the vibes and just catch the moment, you know what I'm saying, rather than focus hard on the lyrics, you know what I'm saying, just like catch the vibe of the song and just convey it through the feeling.
In my world, you shouldn't even come to the studio and write rhymes. If we're tracking a beat and we're getting ready to like lay some vocals after we finish tracking, make sure you're ready. Don't sit there and start writing while we're tracking and then you're sitting there, your rhyme is half.
Whatever you think my greatest song or my greatest rhyme was, I probably wrote it right there. Like, I never really spent weeks on it, you know what I'm saying? I never really did that yet. And that's gonna come in a minute, and that's when I'm gonna be crazy. That's when it's gonna be over for me, you know what I mean?
And for every MC, the atmosphere in the studio is as important for the creative process as the beat and rhyme, yo.
We need a mic, we need an LB, you know what I'm saying? We need the ill lyrics.
No, I don't like to drink. I don't like to smoke. So none of that takes part in the studio. And as a matter of fact, I really don't like the producers that I'm dealing with to do that in the studio either, because it kind of messes with my vibe. I can see if we was all smoking and drinking together, cool, but when one is and one's not, it's kind of hard to gel.
Working in the studio ain't just about standing in a booth in front of a mic, you know what I mean? Knowing the tools and the tricks is as much a part of the technique to making a great song.
You know, you have your choice of how you want to go about making music. You could learn an instrument and get a band, or you can sample music. I think the essential producer, you know, has whichever piece of beat sampling, record sampling piece he's going to have, whether it's still a 1200 or a 950 or MPC 60 or
the QY100, you know what I'm saying, by Yamaha. And it's a MIDI controller, right? So basically what this does is it controls the other instruments I have. So I could compose a whole tune on this, you know what I'm saying, the different parts of a song by measures, you know what I'm saying, each note. And then this will control whatever else I want.
So usually it's based off a sample. Maybe I have a really good idea, song idea, and then I'll go back and make the track around it. How my tracks, like nowadays I'm using like live strings, I use Miri Benari, guitars, keyboard players to duplicate the sample. And I still leave the sample in there so people don't know if it's a sample, what it is. It's like just a new form. I might be giving away a little bit too much information right now, but hey, you know, when people bite, I'll like make up something new, so.
Essentially, like if you got 8 tracks of music, you got a snare, hi-hat, kick drum, bass line, keyboards, and horns. It's all separated through 8 different lines on the mixing console. And that doesn't include your vocals. And this is done so everything can be EQ'd specifically, individually, and your vocals can be recorded individually, and basically you can get levels and, you know, do a mix on your songs.
What I'll show you right here is the tricks of the stanchion. You know, the 1200 can't do this. Check it out. Backwards at the same speed. 45. And what you can do at the same time, what you can do is change the pitch. Keep the speed. It's a beautiful thing.
going out on the stage and performing in front of an audience is a way for the MC to, you know, try out new material and promote themselves to old and new listeners alike, yeah. The live show is the core and life's blood of an MC's work.
Being able to connect with the audience and to make them react. So the live element is a big, important factor in MCing.
I love performing. Performing is... This is where I get to penetrate, you know, everything about the next individual. You know what I'm saying? This is how I get to get into the individual's mind. This is how I get to get into the individual's body, you know, his soul.
It's a full sensory experience, you know what I'm saying? Like, you touching the crowd, you hearing the music, you smelling the smoke, you know what I'm saying?
Feeling is when you walk out on stage and it's just a couple of thousand people in the house and they just go crazy, you know what I'm saying? And you ain't even got to say, and you ain't even said nothing yet.
When you get up on stage, it's like you get to show a whole nother you, and you get to uncover all that shyness and everything, and just all the attention is on you. I mean, MCs, they like attention at the end of the day. That's just what it boils down to.
Because every time you take that stage, you are the main act, steal the show. I don't know. I heard DMX say, I don't know if I go first, middle, or last. It's gonna be my show. You know what I'm saying? That's what I try to do. Every time I get on stage, this is my show.
I definitely need a shot of liquor or some wine or something when I'm live, because even though I did millions of shows, I still get butterflies, whether it's a hole in a wall or arena. So it's just something about that.
Sometimes it's good to be like, tense and frustrated when you rhyme, because then because rhyming is like, man, for me, it's like a psychological release.
I might be tense, I might be feeling, you know, tied up, but right after you get off stage, you give a good performance, you just feel so relieved and, you know.
Yeah, when I break it up, black, keep your eyes on the dog tag. Watch close, yeah, yo, I do my thing.
Recording rhymes in the studio and MCing on stage require different techniques. How does a pro deal with the stage experience?
That the MC should always see beforehand where he or she is gonna MC. You're not always gonna get that luxury. That's why when you enter a club, we got no time to be shaking people's hands, and people know me all the time. I come in the club, cats wanna talk. I mean, listen, I'm studying right now. And usually I am. I walk in the club, I'm looking for the hottest mic. I'm looking to see if the DJ is, you know, what breaks did he play? What is this crowd like? Are they feeling him? Are they feeling that? Let me walk to the house. Let me see what it looks like from the house. You know, maybe the stage is lower than the house. Let me see what that is. You have to study your craft like anything. You can't just freestyle your career. You never cuff the ball of the mic. Many rappers cuff the ball of the mic.
Cuff the mic. I think that's even my crew. I think everyone has, like, you know, they're like, yo, what's up? You know, I think that's one of the main things that I think that hurts a live show is that rappers, you know, cuff the mic.
Yeah, but not everybody agree.
Only 10% of the time when I seen the sound man really get it right to where you can hold the mic like a mic. I mean, only 10%, that's when you're doing maybe, if you rocking something like American Music Awards or some TV type shows, you may get this, you can hold the mic like that. You know what I'm saying? And very few concerts, they really have you where you're supposed to just go ahead and hold the mic like that, you know what I mean?
Never put the mic down by your side like this, because that's what causes feedback. People always wonder, why is it feeding back? And they put the mic down because they're just holding it down. But usually when you hold the mic down, you're putting it into the monitors that's in front, usually on stage. So what you want to do is always face the audience, center stage, with an upright position, this hand extended, talking to people who your eyes and ears may not be necessarily looking at or communicating to. Your hands are doing it. I would suggest that you wear clothes in layers, because when you're taking off stuff, it always makes you seem like you're moving faster than you really are. And that's what the MC is trying to get the crowd hyped. So you wear a hat you know, with a brim, so that you could play with the brim, switch it around, boom. I come on with either 3 or 4 jackets I usually wear at night. And I take off 1, 2, 3. By the time I'm done, I'm down to a t-shirt. The t-shirt's sweaty. The hat's done turned a few times. The crowd feels like they've grown with me. They've developed a relationship with me. They've saw me break down in layers. Finally, have something to give the crowd. It works every time. I would hardly ever step on stage and just MC. I would step on stage, hand out my CD, hand out pictures. You can go to Kinko's and print up color copies of your face for less than your habit.
I want you to take this.
Print up your flyers of your face and a number where people can get to you, hand out your stuff, and then commence to rock in the party.
Kenny, music! Yo,
your dogs in the kennel, walking your projects and let off in the middle. Door to door, I'm coming like I'm shopping the demo. Doctor, and you get no love like Jan Brady. Me, I'm with women, even ambulance ladies. Barbers can't fade me. Throw down your clippers. In New York all the time, but not around September. Y'all fools, cause Brick City crown for gully. Brooklyn, I got ziggins in your town that love me. I used to spot Biggie up top, sitting with C's. Real ziggin' do real things when the mission is you can't stop me, can't blow me, can't stare me wrong. Baby boy, fetal position, barely born. See, I know y'all been eating too long. Now fuck y'all little ziggins. I'm going after the boss that put you on. I treat the game like a joke. You talking about the grams on your boat like the fans wanna row. I packed up 2 that's ready to play. Got the best of both worlds, not Kelly and Jay. Call me Gilla.
The master right here, Redman.
See, man, he just got that raw street element. He got comedy in him, he got voice, he got style.
He chose to put his hoodie on and have his hat like that. He chose that. Why? He's trying to separate himself from the crowd. He's trying to distinguish his uniqueness. As wild as I could get, as unique or gully as I could look, different from whatever you may be seeing, I need to get there. So here he is, and look at his hand movements. He's directing his energy in a more direct kind of way here.
He just dropped it, man. That's a rhyme you hear at a concert and just be like, man, Redman lit that up. He go say that rhyme anywhere and people gonna be like, geeked off that.
And see how he breaks down into that? See, and then he gets humble with it. After he's unslapped you up, then he slinks back into, yeah, I'm back again, it's me.
Yeah, he rhyming about 2 worlds now is ready to play. Got the best of both worlds, not Kelly and Jay. Them words rhyming, it just sounds sweet. The way he rhymed it, but it made sense too. So it's like, Redman just the epitome of it.
So, you earned a reputation battling, and everybody think your demo is banging. So now what? How do you break into the game? It's obvious. You connect with an MC who's already where you want to be.
There are no hookups in hip-hop. Stop looking for a hookup. It's hard to earn. You know what I'm saying? You got to get a lot of work doing this. You know what I'm saying? So get out there and do the thing.
When I tour Europe, I come home with MCs from every country. You know, CDs of rappers in every language. And you know what? There's a lot of good stuff out there. There's a lot of whack stuff, too.
I listen to some of them. I give some of them to my A&R of my own label, and I give them to the A&R Rough Riders.
Sometimes you can't listen, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like all the hustle and bustle that goes on with this rap music. But, you know, when you do have time, you do listen, because you never know. You might come upon that diamond in the rough, and like you might just bump into the next DMX, Jay-Z to expand your career.
I travel, yeah, definitely. I throw it in and listen to it, definitely.
I met Lil Flip a long time before he got signed. Pastor Troy actually gave me a CD before he got on. And I actually threw Pastor Troy's out because he was on the cover holding the Bible in one hand and a preacher's gown and a gun. And I was like, get out of here.
But getting a demo heard involves more than handing it off to an MC. Tired of y'all is running up on me with that, listen to my demo.
I listen to it based on what you look like, what you said when you gave it to me, how you approached me, what the tape looks like, the CD, how it's packaged. I mean, if the handoff feels good, then I'm gonna put it in a special pocket. If it just looks like you wrote with a marker on a CD, it doesn't have a case, you walk up to me with your head down, your body language is not very confident, you know, I'm looking at all this, your appearance is not looking like, okay, you could be a rap star, because I don't think there's any one element that says you're a rap star, like the look or the sound or the production. I just think it's a combination of magical things that's gonna make you a star.
Every CD I get, I don't listen to. I can't. But I drive a lot. So I take that opportunity to hear what the real streets are saying.
Where's the number? That's the first thing I'm asking, because if I like it, I want to be able to contact you. And what is on here? What am I about to listen to? Are you rapping? Are you singing? Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, where do you rate it? And if you're saying under a 10, then I'm handing it back to you, because I don't have time to listen to anything less. And who am I gonna convince if you can't even convince me that you're hot?
Most MCs have busy lives, and getting a demo to them is not necessarily the best way to get heard.
A lot of times, I'll be on the move, or the artist might be on the move, and they might not have time to listen. They might say, well, you got a CD, you know, and they might take your CD, and some artists don't listen to CDs. I know I done got a lot of CDs I just ain't listened to because I ain't had the time to really, I didn't even have the space, like the mental space to want to sit down and listen to it. But some I do, it just depends on what mood I'm in. I'm just being real about the situation.
Like, people come up to me, like with CDs and stuff, I either take them, but I still tell them, I can't help you right now. I'm still trying to get up there, you know what I'm saying?
To be honest with you, I heard Dr. Dre say it the other day, and I totally agreed with him. He was like, he'd never heard a dope demo tape. And I haven't either. My experience is, if you dope, I'm not gonna hear about you from you giving me a demo tape. It's gonna be a reference. Somebody I know is gonna come to me and tell me you dope. Or I'm gonna go to a show, I'm gonna see you, and I'm gonna be like, wow, he's dope. Or I'm gonna see you in the street, and you don't have a demo tape.
A lot of the demos I'm getting, it's like, dude, do you know that this sounds exactly like this guy? You know? But then again, they might get a deal quicker than like if Gangstar was shopping a deal today, because we sound original and they don't.
Breaking into the game is hard work, yo. As hard as putting a demo together. So what's the best approach?
Eastside Boys Lil Jon worked in Jermaine Dupri's office for years, and Jermaine never said, get your out that office and get in the booth and get crunk. You know what I'm saying? Lil Jon had to get out there and find his way. He affiliated himself with guys like me and got in the studio and did his personal thing away from his job. And now he's, you know, making millions. So it's like a star will be found.
And so I listen, and every once in a while, I come across someone who is talented. And I say, can you travel? I don't even take them the record company route. It's not necessary. I say, can you travel? Because if you can travel, you can get some money.
Everybody wants stuff to happen so quick, and they want big money right there and all that. And that ain't how this game works, unfortunately.
Because in the game, they could get on automatically on some other shit, and the game is not like that. You just can't get on like that. And I be trying to tell these MCs that.
All the top right now, Jay-Z, Nas, Beyonce, all these that done did it. They had to struggle to get where they at. Why not go through that struggle and be rich in the end? You know what I'm saying? Instead of just hopping on somebody like, yeah, I'm one of the back dudes, you know what I'm saying? I'm coming up next.
But I won't take somebody's CD and then don't just listen to it. Sometimes I'll listen to it and give it like 10 seconds, like, nope, that's it, crack. Throw it out the window, nope, that ain't my style. Because it might not be my style. But I will listen just on the strength that I've been in that situation before. And I never had to come up and make anybody listen to my but I did have to come up and get into the industry and say, play my.
It was once said by my man Q, shake my hand, but make it a firm shake. Say what's up, Ice Cube, but then break. I mean, basically just make it short and sweet. And if a person feel like they want to hear a rap and they willing to listen, give them your best rap. And don't expect nothing. You can't expect nothing. You gotta understand that every artist ain't your avenue to get to your record deal. It's really irritating at a point where a cat just keep coming up, and if you really on a mission, you might be somewhere with your little girl, your daughter, or somewhere with your mother, and you know you might not really want to spend that time doing that at the time.
I made demo tapes and solicited them to labels for many years. And the moment I stopped doing it is when I started becoming successful in this business. When I was like, you know what, a demo tape, I'm gonna do it myself, is when everything started happening.
I love y'all. Goodbye.
With hip-hop high in popularity, the MC has become a profitable commodity to the record labels. But this has brought about friction as the artists struggle with the high-pressure demands put on them by the commercial world.
We as artists, we always get these pressures from record companies nowadays, like, yo, we need the single. We need something that we could play on radio, you know what I mean?
The commercial pressure at first was daunting, and at first was a lot of pressure, and, you know, I tried to write certain records, probably records you will never hear.
This is what's popping on the radio now.
True.
I'll be like, word, get the out of here.
We never really had no, you know what I'm saying? We always had creative control for our
words.
So
but they still
really,
try to sneak in there.
Still try to throw a little advice, a little.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that creative shit sound good. I love so-and-so and them. That's great. But you in the business now, man.
With the pressure on to get radio play and CD sales, a lot of people would say the MC is getting lost in the mix.
Labels aren't trying to build careers. They're not trying to, you know, do artist development to where, you know, they're gonna build an artist for the long haul.
There is no artist development. If you don't happen at radio in the first 5 or 6 weeks, you're over.
They don't really give a about you. Nobody really gives a about you at the end of the day. You just a $sign anyway.
Which record company? Because I hate certain people, but I won't say their names. But I hate them, but you know who you is. Call my lawyer.
I don't think record companies understand artists at all. They're run by lawyers and accountants. And so when you're making decisions and you're arguing about music, you're arguing with lawyers and accountants, and you have to check yourself and be like, wait a second.
I know that labels look at their artists as being disposable. That's the whole purpose of marketing them in a trendy, gimmicky type of way. That way you could sell a whole bunch of records off of this here gimmick while it's in style, while it's, you know, it's fashionable now. And then when it's over, you ship them on and sign somebody else.
This is a shady, grimy, backstabbing, yellow belly business.
They come in their office and they have all of the major magazines for the week or the month lined up. They have the MTV on this station, BET on this one, and they have the local radio station is playing hip hop in the background, and it's just like, okay, I know what's hip, and they try to like box it and categorize it.
He's a West Coast artist. He's an East Coast artist. She's neo-soul. He's old school. And I believe that that's the problem.
I know that, man, if I do what I'm trying to do, I'm definitely not gonna be here five years from now. In this game, I'm gonna be like over in Rome or some shit, or jet skiing, or just doing something different, hopefully. And if I don't do what it is I want to do, then I'll be sitting my ass up in there making beats. Like, you like this? What you think of this?
In the fly or die world of the big record labels, the question comes up: how can artists survive and even take control of their destiny?
All this stuff is just like, it's corny, man. This whole game, this whole industry. That's why I'm y'all, and I'm out of here. I'm gonna get 100 million from y'all, and I'm gone.
A lot of people that run my record label, Jay, Dame, Biggs, you know what I'm saying? And they're really pro artists. Rockefeller is like really a family. They're not fighting for you just so you can sell records. They want you to have a better life. It's like, I feel like they like the Jews in that sense. And they grab kids from the ghetto and adopt them and raise them like they kids and teach them how to actually get money.
Once you learn the game, you realize in the end that you got to use that game as a poster, just like they do, just like they use promotion as a poster to sell a record and get the money off the record, and you don't hardly get none of that money. You got to take that same promotion that they put out there to sell that record as your promotion to be able to go start other businesses.
When I do panels in New York, kids raise their hand and ask me, how do I get a record deal? When I do panels in the South and the Midwest, kids raise their hands and say, Wendy, I've sold 15,000 records, how do I get it to 30? I can work with that. I can work with that mentality. That how do I get a record deal? How do I come to somebody with my hand out? I can't with that.
An MC selling their CDs independently can expect to make 70 to 80% of the profits. While an MC signed to a label will usually get 10% or less. Boo. The economics speak for themselves, people, so what do?
I don't really think shopping a deal is the thing right now. Press it up or get CDs made up, walk your dogs, go to the clubs, go to the stations, whatever you gotta do, open mic, whatever, showcases, whatever you gotta do to lock down your area, that's how you should do it. That's where the game is at now. It's back to that independent label thing.
Once the album is done, Playboy, then comes the promotion, which means touring. The grind of touring is, the opposite of what you'd expect. Your carriage is a van, if you're lucky, a tour bus. Along for the ride are tour managers, soundmen, entourage, DJs, and groupies. It's not for the weak of mind or spirit as you shuttle from one city to the next, and the food is terrible.
Best thing to be on tour is, promoting yourself and being able to be close to the people that you ain't ever had any idea was even around, you know what I'm saying? The types of people you meet, the many different vibes that inspires new ideas and new vibes in you.
12 sleeping spaces, that's how everybody get down who rapping and on the road. If you're independent and got your paper, that's how you do.
Being on tour, it's extremely hard to explain. It's like seeing it's one of those things you got to see. It's not what people think at all. As a matter of fact, most people who are trying to be in the game like that and trying to get the records out, whether they're doing it independent or want to go on the label, even a lot of the people make it that far, touring ain't for them. It ain't for everybody. Can't everybody do that.
The mundane, the everyday, same things, you know what I'm saying? You start to lose perspective of where you at. You're in the same surroundings, you know what I'm saying? So every day almost like melds into one.
Dale, Tajay, Fast Souls, it's 12 of us. This is my house, this is where I've been living, right here,
You're in a bus with 12 people for about anywhere from a month to 3 or 3.5. And you don't get to go to your room. You don't get to go take a like that. I mean, when you get off tour, you really want to go take a on your toilet like, this is tight. You feel me? Like, it's weird like that. I mean, you wake up, there's people in your face. Everybody's smell is there. Some people's clean, some people's a little messier. Some people eat food that make you want to vomit. Some people smoke, some people don't. I mean, it's every little thing. It's clutter, it's confinement. The bunks is the size of a coffin. And you wake up in the middle of the night, get your head up.
Back here hanging out, chilling. I guess this would be like den or something.
But there's an upside to touring.
Being able to network with the other groups you touring with, because again, you can collaborate and, you can always make new and next level and other type of vibe, type of joints that you probably would have never had the opportunity to make if you didn't come on tour, because y'all don't connect like that on a regular basis. Being able to just go out and party in the different areas too is cool, you know what I'm saying? Because you get to see how and what rocks the neighborhoods and the areas in these different regions. You get to get a closer look to like, what's the bang out here? What they rocking to over there? What they loving out here? You know what I'm saying?
Boy, time come on! Knuckleheads, don't that make you act real dumb? Yeah, I'll break that for...
So what advice is there for the up-and-coming MC?
If you're from Arkansas, the minute Tigger, P. Diddy, anybody from a record company or artist touchdown, You better have the state on lock. I want to hear from the minute I get my bags, yo, you need to check out so-and-so from Arkansas. They crazy.
If you think you can rap, don't let nobody tell you what you can do. You determine your own destiny. I never let nobody else. No one man could have stopped me from doing what I'm trying to do.
I say take it very seriously, and if your only goal is just to get paid or to see yourself on TV, then I don't think you really in the right business, you know?
Definitely put something down that's timeless, something that no other artist can convey quite as well as you.
If it's underground hip hop that you like, support that. If it's commercial, support that. Whatever it is, support that. Stand by it, and stay true to what you believe in, man. How you? Good?
Make sure that you can control a lot of what's going on. You control your music, you control your schedule, you control your money, and then you don't have to really worry too much. You'll be comfortable.
Don't be a stupid rapper. A stupid rapper is a that has somebody else tell them what to do, which is not always wrong, but if it's something that you feel that you don't have to do, you really have to question it and find out why they want you to do it.
I would say do it yourself. There's no such thing to me as a music industry. So if you do it for yourself so well that the music industry comes looking for you, then you can make a decision whether you want to deal with them and, jump into that world or that realm.
And I can only tell people, hold your head, getting into this business, because you want to enjoy yourself and be happy, and life is about being happy, and a lot of people could want to take that away from you.
You have to expect the pitfalls of the industry and the label, but you definitely have to believe in yourself.
Fear and MCing don't go together. And not just fear of in battling or something like that, but fear of the record company. Fear of journalists asking you those hard questions. Fear of rejection. Fear of failure. Fear of getting ripped off. All that got to go out the window if you're gonna be a great MC.
If y'all thinking of getting into the rap game, I got a little bit of advice for you. Don't bite my That all.
Yo, that was dope, right? The MC, part 2. QD3 Entertainment, what up, Josh? Back. KRS-One. Come on, be inspired, you know you on fire. Yeah, touch the music. KRS-One. Talk to him. When will you become the master MC, son? First you gotta see one and hear what he decree, son. If you ain't never seen one, you will never be one. And I ain't really seen none, really. Really? When you bust the rhyme, cats gotta say what the dilly. Girls be like, he's so silly, but you the master MC, really. You rhyme on and off time to get cats' minds off the 9-milli. Or on it, now feel me. Radio, I off it. They talking at in my ears, not a toilet. I don't care how hype the song get. In them clubs with a master MC, you don't want it. If the sound shut off, we rock. 10 people in the spot, we rock. Bad weather, we rock. Cats be mesmerized and energized. Finally, they realize all them lies when we rock. Answer the door when we knock, cause we rock. Pick up Little Eye in Japan, man, she rocks. The master MC is like Jet Li, a hero. Gliding over treetops, we hot. New Jacks wishing that we stop. They seem so shocked when we rock them. Can't believe that. Believe what? That we rock 19 years and we here, man. It's obvious we hip hop. KRS Ichiban Hakume Ka. My lyrical be living on, growing great top. Prophetic, athletic, energetic, lyrical star. I reckon for many skeptics, you know who we are. QD3 Entertainment, KRS-One paying tuition and not arraignment. You gotta understand, we take it straight to the pavement. MC2, yeah, we say it. Or said it. KRS-One never did it. This is how we get down, we said it. With QD3 and Bob. KRS-One's lyrics be fly, we can never die. And why? Bob, it's in the house. KRS-One is in the house. Yes, my man Josh is in the house. QD3 Entertainment turns you out.
No doubt. Look, player, MC to me means magazines and clips that'll rip through your pelvis. Leave you rapping with Elvis. Try to tell kids to chill, let daddy speak, but you still insist on hitting weak like a 90-pound DB. See me, I hustled into this industry, and just as I suspected, I was the best cat lyrically. Not RPX, but I bet you gon' remember me being through this rap war, rapping up and I never seen so many in that spitting junk. Where I'm from, that's 40 to the face, no cover up. I'm a beast, it's the hunters what? And them killers that you run with, dog, they run from us. I'm a beast and the best, not from east or the west. It's a Chi-Town thing, better learn to deal with it. Cause every hanging out now sucks to me. And if your flow is sick, I'm full blown AIDS. Yeah, back. KRS-One, legend to phenomenon.
I'ma do this my entire life until I die.